from the Channel 8 Broadcast Center. It's a celebration. Join us as we honor the victorious achievements of our local Olympians who will share their memories and moments of the 16th Winter Games.
Good evening, everybody. I'm J.C. DeLass.
And I'm John Kutchko.
During the next hour, you are going to meet some very special people. We'll relive the exciting Olympic moments made possible by our local athletes, A.J. Kitt, Joan Smith, Diane Roth-Steinrotter, and Kathy Turner.
We'll interview their families and talk to our area Olympians who are still overseas. And tonight, you meet the woman who won the gold. Bob Kirk will be fielding questions from our in-studio audience. Bob?
All right, John, we'll talk to some of the people who knew the Olympians way back when. There are folks here from Swain and Brantling. Yes. And from Brantling. Come on, Brantling. Yeah. And folks from Bosch and Loam. Yeah. And later on, we'll be taking phone calls from viewers later on in the program. JC.
All right, Bob, and now our guests for tonight's show. First, a key member of our outstanding United States Olympic hockey team and current Amherst defenseman, please welcome Greg Brown. Also with us, Nancy and Ross Kitt, parents of the Sports Illustrated cover boy A.J. Kitt. And we'll have a phone interview with A.J. from Japan.
Introducing Paul Smith, brother of biathlete Joan Smith, along with his wife Janet and son Lloyd, plus Joni on the line from France. And we have Diane Roth-Steinrotter's husband, Willie, joining us tonight all the way from Potsdam, New York. And the parents of our silver medalists, Jay and Bob Roth from Williamson. Diane will be talking to us from France.
And of course now our very special guest, Hilton's hometown sweetheart, the lady who won 2 Olympic medals, one of them gold, short track speed skater Kathy Turner, along with her mother Nancy and brother David. And we'll be right back with our welcome home celebration, so stay with us. Back, everybody. Kathy Turner, of course, led the women's short track speed skating relay team to a silver medal, and then she went on to win the gold in the 500 meters. And tonight, Kathy joins us along with her mom, Nancy Price, and her brother, David. Please welcome them. Kathy, of course, you've been on a whirlwind tour now since winning the 2 Olympic medals. Has it sunk in yet, or does it still feel like a dream?
Well, to tell you the truth, as you notice, I'm hoarse. That's how much of a whirlwind I've been on. I've only had like an average of 4 hours sleep since I won. And no, actually, I haven't had time to just sit down and relax and look at my medals and go, wow, I won. And so I'm still kind of working with that.
Tell the folks a little bit about what went through your mind when you came to the airport and that tremendous reception that Rochester gave you. Thousands of people there to cheer not only you, but your whole family there.
Well, like I said, I saw it through the airport window. I could see that there was a bunch of people waiting for me to get off the plane, and I thought, wow, okay, oh boy, And I got off the plane. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of people here. And then my brother's like, Kathy, this is nothing. This is nothing. You just hang on to me. You just hang on. I'm like, what? And then I looked down, and all I saw was people, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just fabulous. And put it this way, I was up for like at least 2 days straight by that time, and I woke up really quickly.
Wake up quick.
Yes.
Your mom, Nancy, and your brother, David, were both there at the reception with you. Tell us a little bit about what was going through your minds when you saw all of those people coming out to see Kathy.
Oh, I had the same reaction she did. And I expected there might be a few people, but not half the city,
Yeah, I was just trying to warn her and just kind of put her in the right positions at the right time and just brief her for this amazing moment.
Kathy, before you left for Albertville, and we talked a lot, and you told me about how just making the Olympic team was really the achievement of a goal itself. Then you win a silver medal. Did that take a little bit of the pressure off for you then?
It did. Actually, it took a lot of the pressure off. Actually, it took too much pressure off because I had trouble gaining my focus again to the point where I had to go and just put my medal in a safe and not even look at it. And thanks to Brad Olson, my sports psychologist, he was there, and my coach, Jack Martell, they took me aside and they worked really hard with me to gain my focus back. And I'd say by the time I made it to the line in the quarterfinal Saturday, I had my focus back and I was ready.
I think we have a question from our audience. Bob Kirk, take it away.
All right, JC. This is Stella from Rochester. What's your question, Stella?
A personal question for the female athletes. Did any of you have a date with Alberto? I heard
I saw Alberto, and I was going to get my picture taken with him, but I don't know, something about him. I was just, the other girls can have him.
I'm not sure if Joan's, excuse me, Bob, I'm not sure if Joan's on the phone with us yet, but she's going to be in the next segment, so maybe we can find out what her feelings are about Alberto Tomba. I want to go back to your mom for a second because she was with you in France and throughout the Olympics, and I'm wondering about what Kathy's outlook was just before that gold medal winning performance in the 500 meters. You talked to her quite a bit.
Actually, we had very little contact
Is that right?
there. Logistically, she was very far away from us. And the security was very, very tight. Like, they wouldn't even let us as parents go back to see her before she skated, which was really, we did sneak back in one little area. Remember, and you'd sneak out and we kind of give a quick, and I could tell she was confident right from the beginning. She was very calm. She was calmer than I was.
My grandmother did make it down into the pits, though. I have
My
no idea
grandmother
how
got
she did
through
it. I couldn't
security.
even get in there without my badge on.
Knowing your spunky grandmother, I
I
could
can't
see how
got
she
through
pulled that
security.
off. She's a lovely lady. David, you got a chance to talk to Kathy before that gold medal winning day?
Briefly, very briefly. She called right after the silver, and she was so excited about that alone. I mean, gold wasn't, I don't even think was an issue at that point. It was just, wow, I've got an Olympic medal, and I can't believe it, and I'm here, and it's just happening, and it's fabulous, and I love everything, and I love everybody, and it just kept going on and on. So, at that point, wow, I'll skate the other race. Let's see what happens there, Yeah.
Let's take a look at that race now. The 500 meters, the gold medal winning performance for Kathy Turner. And Kathy, I want you to tell us a little bit about what we're seeing, what you're going through right now as you get ready to take
Oh,
off.
I was kind of in a panic right now because I knew already, because I knew that I had a bad blade on my left. My left blade was really bad. So I don't know if this is when I fell. Okay, this is
Nope.
off. I'm off to a
Second
good start.
start, right.
And the Korean got off in front of me, which is good. That's just what I wanted, because here I can relax. I don't know if you noticed. And I could take my time catching up. See, I'm kind of hesitant on the turns, favoring my right skate. Watch, see, I pivot there because I just didn't have a left blade to skate on, and I'm kind of have my arm behind my back. And I was just waiting for the right time. And right there, I was about to pass on the outside, and she slipped up, which just helped me even more. However, I was kind of nervous that she may click skates with me as I was going by, but I just got by her and I went, okay, just hang on to the turns. See, I'm just kind of putting my hand down and very nervous around the turns. And right here, for some reason, I just didn't hold my turn like I normally do. Oh, not right here, but right here, I think. And then I clicked skates with her there, and I looked over, I saw her thrusting, and I just went, oh, no, you don't.
Oh, boy. It took a while for you to find out that you'd won the gold medal. You know, what was going through your mind then when you finally realized, hey, I won a gold medal?
Well, it took so long to find out. I really thought she had me. And everybody was like, yeah, you won. And I'm like, yeah, but maybe not. and then the announcement, I was waiting for the announcement. And I was not sure until the announcement came over. And believe me, it was the longest announcement I've ever heard in my entire life. I mean, every word out of the announcer's voice, I thought the next word was going to be from China. and then they said my name, and I was just like, see, I started jumping around like, oh. Anyway.
You got a figure skating career there.
I mean, if I had thought for 1 second how many people were watching, I never would have done it.
Bob, let's take a question there from the audience.
JC, we have a young man. Jim?
Jim Seeley.
You're from Newark?
Yes.
What's your question?
While you were racing, what were you thinking of?
I was very nervous. Before the race, I thought, that's it, I'm done. Because my edge was that bad. And I just panicked. My coach, they went over to my coach, and he tried to sharpen them or do the best job he could with by hand, with a little burst gun, and it's kind of impossible. He says afterwards that he blessed them more than anything. And I was just so cautious about my racing, and I just tried to stay up on my feet and not make any mistakes. Just stay in the lead and just play it safe and not let anybody get by me.
Tremendous performance from Kathy Turner. Stay with us, folks. When we return, we'll be talking with the parents of America's hottest downhill skier, A.J. Kitt.
Welcome back, everyone. You saw him on the cover of Sports Illustrated just a few weeks ago. Tonight we have the proud parents of A.J. Kitt, Nancy and Ross Kitt, here with us. First, I want to say welcome back. I think we saw almost as much of you two on national TV and across the world as we did your son. How was the experience just being there, Nancy?
It was absolutely incredible. The people in France were wonderful. I couldn't believe how friendly they were, and everywhere we went, somebody knew AJ. He's a little celebrity over there, and I would walk down the street and say, "You're AJ's mother." "Oh, I don't even know you."
How about you, Ross? I saw some of your Olympic trading pins even on one shot. I see you brought the hat with you.
Yep.
How was the experience over there?
Well, first of all, the French did a pretty good job of destroying their image of being bad guys. It was a lot of fun. We had a good time every place we went because AJ had won the race in Val d'Isere. They knew him. His picture was all over town. Got us a lot of free drinks in a lot of different bars.
Now, as we said earlier, we got a lot of guests from the Swain Ski Center who are in attendance tonight, and put a clap there. Now, earlier we talked to A.J. Kitt, who's in Japan. We talked to him via tape, and he had a little message for all his fans who have supported him for such a long time.
Well, just like to thank everyone. It's been great this season. All the letters and the notices I've gotten from everybody back home, it's been a real inspiration knowing I've got the support.
I want you to talk on, please, about the experience in the Winter Games. Going in, you had a lot of media pressure. On the cover of Sports Illustrated for the Olympic preview issue, you had requests for interviews by more people than you ever had before. What was that like? Did that really catch you off guard at all?
Well, not really. You know, I kind of expected it being at the Olympics, and, you know, it's just something I had to really deal with because, you know, there was a lot of things going on at the Olympics, and there's a big job to do as well for myself, and I really had to try to work my time around all the press and the other obligations that I had going to be able to get my job done.
Now, do these look like proud parents right here? Are these people proud or what?
I feel like I'm on the Wheel of Fortune.
let's talk about we talked about the media pressure and some of the press coverage. You guys weren't too happy with you were keeping tabs on some of the reports back in the States, and I know you had some friends sending you press clippings about what people back here were saying about AJ's performance. What was your outlook on that? You want to talk about that, Russ?
Well, one of the questions that got asked of him was, was he disappointed in a performance? And I thought that was a little unfair because the media built him up to be a hope, and he was definitely America's best hope for a medal. But still, if you look at his age and the timing and the course that he was on and everything else, a good performance for him would have been top 10, and that's exactly where he was. And he was happy with it, and we were extremely happy with it.
Okay, let's go to Bob Kirk in the audience. I guess we got a question, Bob.
Yeah, we have a young lady, Megan from Brockport. Megan, what's your question for Mrs. Kitt?
Nancy, how did you feel when AJ was going down the hill?
As usual, I'm scared to death. My mouth is dry, my stomach is flip-flopping, and all I hope is that he makes it down. And that's every day that I see him come out of the start gate, that's all I want, is to make him and everybody else finish. Period.
Let's we're gonna take a look at AJ's downhill run and describe to us, as parents waiting at the bottom of that hill, you're watching a clock, and there you can see AJ going down the hill. What's it like? It must be so exciting.
Well, first of all, Nance didn't see it because she was at the bottom like this. But it was fun. We were standing at the bottom looking at the big screen television, so we got to see it pretty much up close. And the bottom 25% of the course you could see pretty well from the finish line where we were. And he skied well.
Do you have any idea how fast they're going?
Around 72.
I hate to interrupt,
80.
but they are going fast.
What's that like for a mother?
And you see their legs going up and down. They're going over jumps and flying 150 feet. And you think, oh my goodness.
I think we were both a little relieved when he got through the rocks.
That
section of the course.
For days, the training runs, we were at every training run, and the rock section, guys fell every single day, and they bounced into the rock, the pads in the rocks, and I thought, he's never going to make it because this wasn't his type of course. But he did.
He made it all right.
Yeah, he made
finished
it.
9th. And
Yeah.
Everyone very proud of him back in the States and really all over. We talked to AJ, as I said earlier, and he had a chance to reflect on his performance in Albertville.
You know, I think that was a real tough race. It was a new kind of downhill that hopefully we won't see much of in the future, but that was the race that we were given for the Olympics, and was one that a lot of different people could have won, and when you have a situation like that, there's going to be a lot of guys who aren't winning. And, I was pretty satisfied with my performance. My effort was good, and a few small mistakes were really the things that kept me out of the top 3.
And now let's look ahead now. We've got the Olympics coming up again in '94, 2 more years. You guys get to do this all over again.
We're saving money like mad.
It's going to be a great experience again, isn't it?
Now, AJ thinks he's planning to compete in '94 and '98 in Japan. And that's what his hope is, because in 1998, he's going to be the same age as Franz Heinzer, who is now the current best downhiller in the world. So.
And he's got high hopes. He's got high hopes.
6 years to be the best.
Absolutely. And when we talked to AJ, we addressed that and asked him about 1994 and looking ahead. Let's look ahead, if you will, please. The '94 games in Norway. I mean, these are the games you're really targeting for, aren't they?
Yeah, I think by '94 I'll have a lot more experience. Certainly the experience at the '92 Olympics here is going to be a big help. And, hopefully if I can go into the '94 games with a few more victories under my belt, that they'll help a lot too.
Okay, so it's on to '94 and some greater things, and thanks for joining us. Great moment for you guys. You can be very proud. Very proud indeed. Glad you could share with us. When we return, we'll be talking with Joan Smith. She'll be live from France. Don't go away.
Welcome back, everybody. Joan Smith is the youngest member of the U.S. women's biathlon team, but that didn't keep her from finishing as the top American in the 7.5-kilometer race, achieving her personal best.
It's race day for Joan Smith, and her fans are well prepared. One way or another, it was a day all of, well, most of them will remember. The family settled in, albeit a bit confused.
Oh, is that the finish? Oh, way over there. I'm looking in the wrong place where the umbrella is.
Warming up, Joni was living this day and this moment for them all. This was the start, the moment where the dream came true. Making it to this point is what this was all about. Joni reached the shooting range, and if love helps your aim, she would be fine. In 3 races, she was able to reach as high as 21st. But in a story of love and pride and family, Joni can say, "I am an Olympian for the United States." And that's all she ever wanted.
Good job.
Thanks.
You got this.
Yeah, that's good. Shoot so well. I know. It's great.
Johnny, look. And he slept right through this. It's been a real pinnacle. This has been one of the highest moments of our whole family lives, I think. We've all been together through all of it.
Really been a lot of fun, and it's a great honor that she was able to be here.
I'm one of the luckier ones. I'm blessed with that, to have that love and to be raised in a family like that. It's been tremendous for me, and I hope I can do it for my kids someday.
Well, Joni's brother Paul is here with us. We're trying to make the connection now in France via the phone line to Joni, and we'll be talking to her shortly. But first, Paul, let's talk a little bit about your experience over there in Albertville and how important the family is to Joan's success.
Well, I think that she draws on the support, but she's strong enough that if we weren't there, I think she'd still perform the same. But I know that when we're there, it just gives it that little extra push, and it helps out. We've seen that like in the trials and et cetera.
Mm-hmm. As an older brother and also your brother Neil, I imagine you guys maybe gave her a little bit of a hard time as she grew up, maybe turning into a tomboy like our other Olympian here, Kathy Turner.
That was definitely a factor. We always wanted that third person to play baseball. I remember when she started softball, baseball, that she couldn't understand why they couldn't play hardball. She was playing that way with us. So yeah.
When we talked earlier and you heard David Turner talk about his sister Kathy and the pride that he has, do you feel that pride when you see your kid sister not only in the Olympic Games but doing so well when she's there?
Absolutely. We were totally, amazed and feel very, very proud and very lucky that, we have somebody in our family who's accomplished that kind of level of success.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Joan, I believe, is on the line with us now. Joan, can you hear us? Joan? Joan Smith, can you hear us?
Yeah, barely.
There we go, barely. All right, we're gonna boost it up for you. This is J.C. DeLass from Rochester. All of the folks here in the studio audience supporting you there, Joan, and I believe the members of the Cross Country Ski Club from Honey I Falls, Lima here as well, and I imagine they want to let you know that they're here. Give her a little bit of applause, the Honey I Falls, Lima folks. Joan, we were just talking to your brother Paul about how important the family's been to your success. Talk a little bit about that and the support you received while you were over at Albertville.
Oh, gosh, it was great. You know, just to look up there on the bank and see him out there, and then this huge sign, Go Johnny's, like, oh, whoa. I guess we can see that. Pretty big. It was really special. I think sometimes Olympics, a lot of things can come up. It can be sometimes a real pressure time, and to have them there and to be able to go and talk with them and things that are bugging you or things that are going well, it's great to have them there to share that. And it helped a lot, especially at the end of the week, you know, just waiting for the next race and just the nerves, or just to be able to talk to people that know you really well and have been around you in that situation. It was a great benefit.
Joan, the confidence that you gained from such a strong Olympic showing, how will that help you in future competitions?
Oh, gosh. Well, since this is the first one, I know what to expect, you know, more of the coaches and some of the things that can change pressure-wise that way. For me, just what I need to do for 94, to focus there again. And it sort of paved the way and say, okay, I know what to expect now. You know, all the emotion, it was, you know, a real emotional high the whole week, 3 weeks, I have to say. There's a lot of new things to deal with, and you know, things that are different from just the World Cup circuit. I'll be more prepared in that way, and I think, you know, I know where I stand and know what I have to do now for the next 2 years for training, too.
You came into the Olympic Games as really one of the unknowns of the biathlon team, and then you left as one of their strongest people on the team. How has that changed your life and your outlook to the team?
Well, our team's really close-knit. I think, you know, we all know there's a few that'll be quitting after this year, and we know there's going to be newer people coming in, and the ones, you know, we were talking today, yeah, you know, I'm going to go for 94, and we're all looking at what we have to do. I think just having, you know, some of the good shooting results and things, and seeing some, you know, Miriam Canadian, you know, receive a silver and know that, hey, yeah, you know, we've been skiing with her before off and on, and we know that when the day's right and the things are on, it's a sport with so many disciplines that anything can go one day. If your skiing's not there and the shooting's there, it's so tough sometimes to get both to click together. We're prepared, you know, and everybody's getting hungry again for it.
All right, Joan, we thank you so much for joining us in that phone booth, I understand.
I'm in the phone booth. I think I'm getting used to this.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and stay with us, folks, because when we return, you're going to meet the family of silver medal winner Diane Roff-Steinrotter. We'll do that next.
And welcome back, everyone. You know, we want to point out a special guest that we showed just a couple minutes ago in the studio audience. This is little Lloyd here, Joan Smith's nephew. Say hello, Lloyd. You want to wave? Future gold medalist himself, little Lloyd, Joan Smith's nephew. Cutie indeed. Well, we're going to talk now about Williamson native Diane Roff-Steinrotter. She's proven to everyone that you can come back from a series of injuries and realize an Olympic dream. Joining us tonight is Diane Roff's husband, Willie Steinrotter, and her parents, Kay and Bob Roff. Welcome, all of you.
Thank you.
A lot of the applause we heard out there were from the folks out at Brantling who have been supporting Diane for so many years. And we talked to Diane earlier today, and she wanted to be sure we got this message to everyone out there. We're sorry you can't be with us. A celebration of our local Olympians who we're all proud of. In fact, we got a lot of people from Brantling in our audience, and I know you're anxious to talk to them. So what do you have to say to them?
Well, to them, I just have to say that
for Willie and I, you know, this is just a dream come true, and they all saw me standing around last year watching everyone else race on the World Cup, and I spent a lot of time at Brantling, and I think they know that the hard times that I've had, and they've helped me through everything, and so I owe them a big thank you.
I want to take you back now to the action that took place in the Olympics, and if you will, please reflect on your fall in the Super G. What were you thinking after that? Reflect on that for a moment, please.
Yeah, well, in the Super G, I ran number 1, which is always a difficult number to start because, you know, nobody goes down the course before you and has any kind of speed, so the coaches can't really tell how the course runs, okay? And when I fell, you know, it was just devastating. I wanted another chance at that exact moment. I just wanted to go back and do it again, and I couldn't.
Okay, now let's talk about that moment. A memorable moment for everyone. When Diane fell, I think all our hearts went out to her. But even more memorable, I think, was your reaction, Willie. And we're going to take a look at this run, and the expression on your face really said it all. Describe what you were feeling as you were watching this run.
Well, she was skiing very well. She was skiing fast, and you know, she had what was the second best split time, you know, up to that point. You know, when after the other girls had gone, and you know, when she fell, you know, my heart just went into my throat and stayed there for a while. And I knew the camera was right there in front of me, and it was just. You know, I just wanted to say, you know, could you guys just go away for a little bit here? You know, but it was just, you know, I had seen the split time, and I turned to say something to one of the other girls, you know, from the team, and I looked back up at the Diamond Vision, the big screen, and I just didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, a tough moment indeed, not only for you, but also for the parents. What was it like for you two to see that in the Super G?
Well, we knew that she had been focused very much for this event and the GS coming up, and that no matter what would happen, she would always take and be there not 100%, but 150%. And if she made it, she would be right up there in the top 3. And if she didn't, she was going to give it a good try, and she did.
Yeah.
She did indeed. And now, Willie, when we talked to Diane earlier, she told us you guys had a conversation, and something happened there, and really rebuilt her confidence. Take us through that.
No, she just, you know, what she said on the phone was that she just wanted another chance. And, you know, in the afternoon after we ate lunch, and she trained, we just watched Greg Brown and the hockey team play a little bit, and you know, it was just, you know, I just told her that, you know, it happens to the best skiers in the world, you know, that, you know, you can't always have ups and no downs, and it just so happened that it happened to be the Olympics when she had a downs, and you know, it's just something she had to put behind her and just get focused for the next day, and that when she was training that day for the GS, she was skiing with a vengeance.
She sure was, and when we talked to her earlier, she wanted you to know, and everyone to know, just how important that stabilizing factor was that night after she fell. Let's take a listen.
Well, I think it's extremely important because otherwise I think I would be so hard on myself and just so focused on my skiing, you know, that I would forget to relax a little and enjoy what was going on, and he really helped me realize that I do this because I love the sport, but I also have another life, and that's with him. And so he made me smile and really tried to get me to lighten up a little and you know, realize what was going on around me.
And lo and behold, the very next day, it all came into place. Years of hard work, all your goals, your dreams realized with a silver medal and the giant slalom win. How satisfying was that?
Yeah, you know, you don't realize until that moment when you win a medal, you don't realize all the emotion that you've put in, that I had put in the years before, and knee injuries and disappointments. All of a sudden, all that emotion just comes together, and I was just at a loss. Willie and I were just in tears.
Mom and Dad, what was it like seeing the little girl who started skiing at the age of 5? What was it like, the woman you've nurtured all your lives, to finally get the silver medal? What was it like, Bob?
Well, Diane had been through a lot and worked very hard coming back from a very, very severe injury. And when I finally got into the finish area to see her, I gave her a big hug and I said, "You deserve this one, kid."
And she got it.
She got it.
She got it. I understand we have a question from the audience. Bob?
All right, John, we're with Colleen from Mount Morris. She's got a question for Willie.
Willie, I was wondering, is it hard being away from Diane as much as you are?
What do you think?
Also, do you live in Potsdam or Norwood? Because I went to Potsdam College, and I'm just curious.
Okay, we live in the village of Norwood,
Okay.
which is in the town of Potsdam.
Yeah.
But our mailing address is Potsdam.
Okay,
so
that's good.
there's a big argument going on up there.
Yeah, Jeremiah's?
Who's claiming her?
Clears up that mystery, huh?
And we talked about how much and how important Diane was in nurturing her, but when we talked to her earlier, the feelings obviously were mutual. Here's what she had to say.
Tell them that I wish I could have spent more time with them and while we were at the Olympics, and that I hope they realize how big of a part they've been in all this. They made me what I am, and I owe everything to them and my husband.
And she did it. She came home with a silver. Thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you very much. Don't go away. We still have a final athlete to pay tribute to.
Well, thanks everyone for being here. And, well, Greg Brown is now with us, United States Olympic hockey team member. And, Greg, tell us a little bit about some of your experiences. It's a lot different than playing for just the Amerks and the Sabres, isn't it?
It certainly is. The international competition, first and foremost difference is that the rink in international hockey is much larger, so it's more of a skating and finesse game, whereas over here there's a lot more grinding and physical play. Although from the scars on my face, might be able to fool you with that.
Yeah, we're going to get to see that shortly. Did the players feel like they were being a part of another miracle on ice like in 1980? Did you guys get that feeling as you were playing?
Well, after we finished first in our side of the draw, we started to realize how much press we were covering over here. When we went into the tournament, we were pretty much a long shot and an underdog. So we really didn't have any pressure on us, but as we started to succeed, we realized that the media was turning towards us, and maybe a little more added pressure started to come.
We just saw some highlights of the game against the unified team. Did the U.S. just run out of gas when it got to that point?
Well, they're a pretty talented team. It was going to take an awful lot of luck as well as the great goaltending that we were getting, and unfortunately in the third period we got a few penalties, and their power play is probably the best in the world, and we just couldn't hold them off anymore.
All right, we're going to take a look at now the infamous hit by Sweden's Mats Naslund. I don't know if you've seen this yet. Have you seen this on tape?
Just once.
All right, well, get ready. Ooh, there it is again. What are your thoughts when you see something like that? What were your thoughts when you got hit?
I really don't remember too much. I got knocked out.
There it is.
And,
now, you said later that you didn't think it was a malicious hit or anything like that.
It's hard to judge someone's intent. Obviously, he wanted to deliver a hard body check, but I don't think his intent was to knock me out because he ended up getting thrown out of the game for that, and that certainly didn't help their team. Sometimes that's just part of hockey.
This experience that you've had now being with the United States Olympic team and being as successful as you were, how do you think that's going to help you in your career down the road with the Amerks and the Sabres?
Well, anytime you get to play and participate at a level that high as the Olympics, you can only get better and take some experience with you, and hopefully I can bring that with me to my professional career.
All right. We look forward to having you back with the Amerks and be up with the Sabres shortly, we hope, too.
Thanks.
All right. Greg Brown from the United States Olympic Hockey Team. Before we leave Greg, I believe we have a question for him in the audience. Go right ahead.
Well, actually, we have a question for Kathy, right? Kathy Turner.
Yep.
What's your name?
Ricky Waters.
Hey, Mickey.
How many
hours did you practice before the Olympics?
A lot. A lot of years, really. Off season, we train, or actually, when we're not near a competition, we train twice a day at least, and at least 2 hours each time. As we approach the Olympics, we want to peak, so we kind of, we lower the training load, and we increase the intensity, sort of. We go faster for shorter amounts of time, and so that's what we did.
Yep.
Greg, the same could be asked of you. I guess that the hours that you put in training with the Amherst and through the camp, easily adaptable then to playing with the Team USA in the hockey tournament, as it were.
Certainly. As she said, you start to intensify as you get closer to the tournament. Our practices were a bit longer the weeks before we got to Maribel, France. But as we got in, we practiced very intensely for 45 minutes to an hour. And then as the game started, we sometimes would only go on the ice for a half an hour just to loosen up because we were trying to save all our energy for the games.
Okay. Thanks again for being here today, Greg.
Thanks
Bob Kirk has some special people now we want to hear from. Go ahead, Bob.
All right. Thanks, JC. We do have some very special people, some dignitaries to pay tribute here tonight. Ralph Gates, Ralph Esposito from Gates. I knew I'd messed something up.
Close enough. Great to be here. Channel 8 deserves a lot of credit for this, and we really want to pay our tribute to all the athletes. They did a marvelous job for our community.
They sure did. All right. We also have Ann Morton, who's the mayor of Honey Falls.
I'm very honored to be here, and it's been it's a great honor for us to have a member of our community representing the United States in the Olympics this year. We're proud of Joan.
And our county executive, Bob King.
I'll tell you, I think the most significant thing is how close all of these great people have brought excellence to us, and we are most proud of all of them and the great opportunity they've given to so many people in our community.
And of course, we have the mayor of Hilton, Larry Gerslin, over there. I'm going to have to stretch real long here. My arms are not long enough. Here we go, Larry.
Thank you. We're obviously proud of not only Kathy, but all of our Olympians. And I know that this community is 100% behind you, and we're going to be at the airport to welcome all of the others as well.
Well, folks, thanks for coming out.
Okay. Thanks very much, folks, for being here. And we've got some special final thoughts for you right after this timeout, so stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, and we have questions now for our athletes and parents that are here with us. And let's take a question now. Bob Kirk in the audience.
Okay, and we're with Andrew from Hilton. What's your question?
Kathy, are you going to the 94 and the 98 Olympics?
8 Olympics? I'll be really, really old then. I'm not sure about the 94 Olympics yet, to tell you the truth. There's a lot going on in my life now, and I have to make time to sleep and eat right now. And we'll see.
And I heard that you're thinking about a different sport, maybe, for possibly going after the Olympics. You want to tell us about that?
I opened my big mouth.
You did, and I heard it. That was the problem.
Well, I was just kind of thinking out loud.
Are you going to tell the folks?
Well,
it's too late now. You know that.
Okay, well, I don't know. I've snow skied since I was 4 years old, and I don't know. I think that I may have a shot if I want to do it, but I don't know.
We got the right people to hook you up with. We got Willie and the Ruffs and the kids around there. I know they'll help you out. Bob Kirk has a special presentation for us now. Bob.
All right, here's Gary Smith from the Greater Rochester Amateur Athletic Federation, correct?
That's it.
All
Thanks,
right.
Bob. We wanted to say hello especially to Kathy and some of the other folks who are in here. GRAF is a local organization, nonprofit organization that has raised money for local Olympians and Olympians to be. And this year, Graf, in the year 1991, distributed about $16,000 to local athletes, Kathy included. We're looking ahead to Kim Small swimming in the Olympic trials in a couple of weeks for the Summer Olympics. Susan Randall is another one, Joni Smith, Scott Bagley, Beth DeSantis, Marnie Goodman, other athletes here, Joni, that Graf has contributed money to, and we hope a lot of people want to join Graf and help us fund the next Olympics.
Right, these athletes up here, these great athletes and their families, just a small taste of what's to come.
That's it. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Gary. Jason.
Thanks, Bob and Gary. We want to thank all of our athletes and their families for allowing us to step into their lives and spend some very personal time getting to know them. We have lived and breathed with these athletes, and they, in turn, have been gracious enough to let us into their lives. It is their belief and trust in us to tell their stories which enabled us to bring these two Reaching for the Ring specials right into your living room. So we hope you've enjoyed them.
But folks, the party isn't over just yet. We have another reason for celebrating tonight. Although his wife is far away, we couldn't let Willie Steinreiter's birthday go unnoticed. Strike it, man.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us.